My name is Katie Levan, and this is my Literacy Thematic Unit project. The topic or the theme that I chose for my project is dental hygiene. I chose dental hygiene because I think it's very important to teach kids preventative health measures and for them to take pride in something that they're going to keep with them for the rest of their life. I feel like if we teach children young how to care for their teeth, then that's going to prevent them from having dental trouble later on in life. So the three subject areas that I decided to cover in this unit is ELA, naturally, math, and healthful living. So the ELA standard that I chose was a kindergarten standard, which states that children will be able to retell key events of a story. So naturally, my essential question is, can you retell key events of the story? The two pieces of literature that I chose are Taking Care of My Teeth and A Look at Teeth. These books break down dental hygiene where children can understand. It talks about brushing your teeth, how often you should brush your teeth, what you should use when brushing your teeth, and different little strategies that children probably could instill in their minds to make teeth brushing more fun. So, one of my formative assessments that I have chose to do for this unit or this subject is dental hygiene bingo. And I modified my formative and my summative assessments. Both are English language learner modifications. And for my bingo card, not only am I including English dental hygiene terms, I'm going to be including Spanish dental hygiene terms. I thought it would be good for the English learners to be able to connect the Spanish words to the English words to hopefully they would learn them quicker. My summative assessment is based on my literature in that the essential question of can you retell key points of a story, they are going to have to be able to do that in order to do their summative assessment of creating a skit. So to introduce this assessment, I will have my students draw a picture of one way to take care of your teeth. I'm not going to be very specific when it comes to this. It can be things to avoid when eating. It can be teeth brushing techniques. Whatever they took from it, that's what I'm wanting to see. So they will start off individually drawing one picture after I have walked through and said yes or no to these. I will then group them into groups of 4. There they will share their pictures with their classmates and they will come up with a way to present what they've learned to their class. The specifications or the guidelines of this project is that they're going to have 4 points presented. So if 3 of them have the same one, they're going to all have to put their brains together and come up with 2 other ones to go along with that one theme. Also for ELA, I have some informational packets to send home with the parents, and it basically just talks about what we've covered in class, things to go over with your students, and there's even a cute little poster that the kids can color and print out or hang up on their wall. The next subject that I'm covering is a math standard, and basically the math standard is also kindergarten, and it is asking for kids to be able to count 1 to 100 in intervals of 1s and 10s. For this purpose, I have focused more on counting by 1s. The literature that I have chose to use for this unit is the book entitled Teeth and an info book called A Trip to the Dentist. All of these books basically have the same theme, and most of them cover the basics of teeth brushing, but what is different about these 2 books is that it breaks down how many seconds a child should brush their teeth and how many teeth they will have when they're a child and as an adult. And it's pretty neat because most of them are losing teeth at this point, so they all have different amounts, and it's just a fun little conversation starter. I will focus more on the number aspect naturally of this. There'll be many different things to get them counting to cover the standard. We can practice as a whole group counting to the amount of teeth they have as a child, which is 21, and they can count to the amount of teeth they'll have as an adult, which is 32. And for the AIG group, if they want to try to count to 120, which is the amount of seconds they are supposed to brush their teeth daily, I would let the AIG students go ahead and do that, and the other ones can try if they would like. One of my summative assessments is going to be a matching activity. I've printed off I'll lay this book down. I've printed off a few of them over here, and you can see they have to match the number with the object. So the activity I had it can go 1 through 20, but I thought for the sake of, since this is the beginning of the year standard, we would go 1 through 10. And basically, they just match the tooth to the toothbrush, which is the appropriate number. My summative assessment is over here, and the kids are going to be receiving a yellow mouth, and they will receive a bag of marshmallows that I will just have grabbed out and not really have counted out. What they're supposed to do is count out 32 marshmallows. So this alone is kind of a mix of ELA and math, because they're having to retell key parts of this, and the math standard is going to be counting to 32. And I know that's a hard concept to count objects and in your head, but that's what I'm going to try to get them to do. They won't have just one try. After they think they've gotten 32, I will come by and say yes or no and give them one other option or one other attempt. After their second attempt, then they will receive their glue stick and they will glue their marshmallow teeth down. I have a helper here today. She'll be out here in just a second, but she actually completed this on her own. She is in kindergarten, and she had no trouble doing this. So yeah, that's the math. And then my final topic or subject is healthful living. And my healthful living standard was kind of the main standard that I built off of. And this covers... the essential question is, why is it important to brush your teeth? And my ELA standard is to apply measures for cleanliness and disease prevention. So this was a very broad standard, which I like that. The two books that I narrowed it down to are Brushing My Teeth and At the Dentist. So my summative assessment, or let me back up, my formative assessment is very hands-on. I will be grouping. I'll have a big list or a big pile in the middle of the floor. One will be listed as good, one will be listed as bad. And the children will be doing scavenger hunts around the room to find candy wrappers, labels, like toothpaste boxes, things that relate to what our literature has taught us. And I need to back up because I left that component out. These books cover things that are not so good for our teeth if left untreated. It talks about how candy, pop, sugary things, how those can be bad for your teeth. And that this book bleeds into that and talks about why you should brush your teeth more often should you eat more sugary things. So the formative assessment is going to be the scavenger hunt. My summative assessment, I have a helper who's going to come and do our project for us or give you a demonstration. So you see that we have two teeth. One is labeled good, one is labeled bad. The students, this is Salem, the students, go ahead and sit down, will receive a bag of items, and they're going to have to sort through these items to tell whether they are good or bad for their teeth. Go ahead and start, baby. My modification for this would be an EC modification, and I would just basically limit the amount of cards that they have in their bag to not overwhelm an EC student. But like I said, Salem is a kindergarten student, and we've already, for the sake of this video, have already went over this project. And again, she didn't have any difficulty understanding after we went over the book. Do you think this project's hard?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically this is going to let me see whether or not they understood the concept of sugary foods are bad, water, more of the fruits, toothbrushing and floss, how they are good for your teeth. So while she's completing that, here is my reading corner. And in my corner, I have offered a wide variety of books, and I've offered flexible seating. They have a bouncy ball, a cushion chair, more standard like yard chairs, or they can sit on the floor. I feel it's very inviting and very multi-purpose. So if we'll take a look back at Salem, she is working hard. Are you understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's basically the gist of my unit and how I have based all of my projects, even math and even healthful living, off what we are reading. I hope you've enjoyed this, and that is it.